you know how you just said it actually felt like Ahsoka watching the show?
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson, it says, trained 14 hours a week to recreate.
That's not that much.
It's 2 hours a day.
Wow. Honestly,
It's about as much time as I spend in the bathroom.
That's not that much.
well, she trained for 14 hours a week to recreate the stunts from the show.
All right, well,
But-
that's better than
Not
7.
doing it, I guess.
That's right, Chuck.
Hello there.
Just chuck a fun.
99 nerds. We are back for episode 35. I've got Jonathan,
Hello.
David,
Boom.
and myself have layers. We are here today to touch on a little bit of Mario, Super Mario Brothers movie. Wahoo! A little bit of the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
That's right.
go.
Let's
A
go.
little touch of the Resident Evil 4 remake. Wow! And we will finish up with the biggest news that hit the circuit of news making.
Hey, this is
Star Wars Celebration 2023, which has got
It's all coming together.
a stupid amount of content to go over. So
Maybe too much.
we're gonna lead off with Sean. You
Hi.
just saw the Mario movie.
I walked out less than 30 minutes ago.
It is fresh
And by walked out, I mean
in your mind.
I walked out.
No way.
Mushroom Kingdom. Here we come.
David also recently saw it.
I did.
I have not seen it because I'm waiting because my son wants to see it for his birthday.
I bet he does.
A good dad.
He does. Years ago, when the first trailer came out, it said April 2023, and his birthday is in April, and we said, that is your party. We're going to see that movie.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for him. But Sean, David, tell me, how is the Super Mario Brothers movie?
What'd you think, David?
You guys can give your 1 to 10 rating.
Dude.
like pain.
Warning, spoilers. Although the movie has such a thin and predictable plot, it is hard to actually consider anything a spoiler.
See, it all depends on where you're coming from.
Should I lead off with this, David? We are recording the day after Easter.
So let me just start by saying, what a holiday movie.
Okay.
They chose this time because this movie is loaded with Easter eggs.
Oh.
No, it is just one reference after another. There really is no story to the movie. It's just any reference they could think of, they just stacked on top of each other.
Dang.
And I loved every second of it.
Oh my gosh.
There's no real plot, Sean?
Like Dave said, I think there's a meticulous attention to detail, and then everything else is as thin as a cloud.
Yikes. The cloud that one turtle rides on?
It's literally, let's pull every game ever that Mario is in, and how do we reference each one with what scene? And then they come up with a story with that.
Dang.
So, yeah, it's got everything.
How was Chris Pratt?
I didn't mind him. I did not mind Chris Pratt's voice.
So at the very start of the movie, they open on a commercial, like a fake commercial the Mario Brothers made of their business, and they sound like the video game characters.
Okay.
Like Mario sounds like Mario from the game, and then so does Luigi. And I was so excited for a second. I'm like, dude, they did it.
Yeah.
They actually just did a full 360, spun the whole thing around, and said, "You guys, we need to actually do the full voice. Chris Pratt, come on, you got to actually give into it." And then commercial ends, and then they immediately start making fun of the fact that, like, oh, you think those accents are too much?
Yeah, it's like everything is a reference, an Easter egg. Like the fact that everybody hated his voice, the very first line of the movie is them talking about why their voice is like the way they are. So I don't know if you caught this or not, you probably did, but they watched the commercial, and then Mario says like, "What, are the accents too much?" And some guy next to them in the place they're at, he says, no, not at all. And it's the Mario voice. It's him.
Yeah.
Charles Martinet probably.
Does he make any other? He was gonna be in the movie. They said. Does he make any other?
That's the only character in the movie who sounds like Mario. They also have like other family members of Mario and Luigi, one of which is like his dad in the movie.
Mario's dad?
Yeah, pretty messed up, retconning his family ties.
Yeah.
But, he is.
Wait, what is his origin?
Dude,
I think
it is a weird
I think
movie.
Charles Martinet also maybe voices his dad, but he just sounds like a normal guy.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's weird because I always thought of Mario as like in the world of Bowser, and
Yeah.
they're not. They're in their own world. They're humans.
Right.
And then
They get sucked
they
into
get
that
sucked
world.
in through a green pipe. And yeah, they're in a different world at that point.
Interesting.
So
Bowser's gonna. I mean, the trailer tells you everything you need to know about the movie.
yeah, literally.
It, like literally the prologue of the movie is that in the film is in the trailer of Bowser attacking the penguin people, stealing the star.
Yeah.
Like that's the start of the movie, except like maybe a minute longer with like just longer shots.
My son Winston knows every word of that trailer.
So here's what I'll say.
Who's gonna stop me?
So here's what I'll say about that movie. I understand it's a film made for kids. I understand that. But, you know, have you ever watched the Minions movies?
Yeah.
This movie felt about as intelligent as a Minions movie at times.
It's the same creators.
It's the same sense of humor. And I personally just couldn't, I just didn't like that.
We are going to stop that monster.
How? Look at us. We're adorable.
Yeah.
I felt like it was so snarky at times, sarcastic. And I think Mario, Super Mario, the brand and everything, it's simple and charming. And so it was kind of like annoying to watch this movie just put out all this bland humor that's a bunch of like dumb references and so many layers of bathos and snark and
My army! Koopas! Goombas! Whatever those things are!
I don't know. I just kind of was like deeply depressed by the end of it.
Dang.
They're all counting on us. No pressure.
So I had the absolute opposite reaction.
Dave enjoyed it.
I literally like throughout the movie was whispering to Emily the entire time is, oh, I bet they're going to do this next. I bet this is going to do. And it did every single time. I knew the whole movie before it happened and I loved every part of it. It was great. Every reference. I mean, there's a point where like they start running through the city and it turns to that 2D of him running from left to right. And it's like, this is the video game. And he like jumps off a guy's head and bounces and he grabs a flagpole and spins down. And it's like, that's from the game.
I would have liked the movie more probably if I saw it in another language.
Wow.
Let me put it like that.
Italian?
Exactly.
Oh, shoot.
I think
You are fluent now.
I think Chris Pratt never did it for me. I weirdly I thought that I can't remember the actor's name who did Luigi was fine.
Charlie Day.
Yeah, it worked for me the whole time.
Which the original Luigi is like very vocal right now about boycotting this movie because he was the only one not included.
Oh,
The
man.
older,
Do it. Do it.
I mean, as someone who's never played Luigi's Mansion, how much have we actually heard Luigi talk?
Mario.
Yeah. So for them to
He's just more
recast,
scared.
for them to recast Luigi, I don't think is like the biggest deal.
right?
Well,
It's
to
funny
me-
you say Haunted Mansion. That's like his one reference.
Right.
Is he is in a haunted, like he gets sucked into the haunted spot and it's like,
Right.
that's the Haunted Mansion.
Right.
But
I remember when that came out for GameCube, it was like, Luigi's getting his own game, but it's a horror game and I can't play that. I'm too scared. My mother will never allow it.
I think I mean I could probably put a lot of time and effort into thinking about how to make the movie better. Like, oh, if you dealt with Luigi's character differently, because he spends most of the movie locked in a cage in Bowser's like
Dang.
dungeon. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like lame. They don't get to do enough with him. And you're happy when he shows up more at the end. And I could probably talk more about like some elements of the plot are either too simple or a little bit too complicated and they don't need to be. But I think ultimately for me, the movie I didn't enjoy the movie because I just think it had the wrong attitude the whole time. I think its sense of humor was not doing it for me.
Dang. Jack Black?
I think our children deserve better.
How did you think Jack Black did as Bowser?
Jack Black was fine. I think Jack Black is fine. I think his musical numbers were maybe too much.
Yeah, I agree. Bowser sings a lot.
I heard about that.
And it's like, it's not Bowser anymore. It's just Jack Black doing his Tenacious D exaggerated voices song. That's it. Yeah. And so I think that, I don't know. People say like, oh, very respectful to the Super Mario franchise. And I'm like, maybe there's something wrong with me because I don't think that.
Wow.
But it's funny because, I said this months ago. When you talk about the casting of the film, it comes across like the weirdest SNL skit. It's like Chris Pratt as Mario, Charlie Day as Luigi, Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, and then who played Toad?
I don't remember. I'll look it up.
Isn't that one of the guys from Key and Peele?
Yeah.
Like, why? And then Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Right.
Which was insufferable. I love Seth Rogen as an actor.
That's Michael Key. Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah.
But him as Donkey Kong, like, I couldn't, like, why am I hearing Seth Rogen? This is like an SNL skit that won't stop.
I heard they're already trying to figure out for a second movie who's going to be Waluigi.
Fred Armstead.
And Wario.
Fred Armstead. Is it Stan or Armistead? Is Cranky Kong, and that was probably the most misplaced voice by far. Cranky Kong.
I didn't care for it.
But what's really funny though is in the movie, I feel like of all the characters that just doesn't fit, it's Peach. Because they kind of, she's just Princess Peach. Mm-hmm. She talks like this. Hi, Mario. Like, right. It's just like, and I don't know, it's like in the movie, it's just Anya Taylor-Joy, like Dave said, doing her absolute least. And it's like, I don't know, it just feels like, this feels like such a corporate movie.
Dang.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it hurts my feelings.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah,
So on a scale of 1 to 10,
your sons will love it.
Adore it.
I promise you.
You said there was a scary part. I need details on the scary part.
That's the Luigi's Mansion.
Okay. That's like in the beginning.
He's running from skeletal.
Yeah, they do this thing where it's like Mario's story, cut to Luigi's story, cut back to. So I don't know exactly in the movie. Right. I just know in Luigi's story, they get sucked into the Mario world, and Luigi goes one way, Mario goes another. When it goes to Luigi, that's the scary part.
Gotcha.
Because it's like all the skeleton Koopas just trying to get him.
Dang.
There's kids in my theater. They seemed okay though.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. There were so many kids around me. It brought my inner kid out. But there was this little girl, when Bowser first showed up, she was screaming at the top of her lungs.
Oh, no.
They're really funny.
What did we see? We saw Lyle Crocodile.
Of course.
And at one point, he gets taken by animal control.
Good.
And Winston was a wreck. He was sobbing uncontrollably.
Dang.
And I had to remove him from the theater for a good 20 minutes. So if there is a somewhat scary part, I'm going to have to shield him.
What was the movie moment for you as a kid when something like that happened?
Probably Marley and Me.
I was 16 seeing
16
Lord of the Rings the first time.
Talking about when you were a kid,
when
like a child, under the age of 10.
When Bilbo lunges at Frodo with his freaky eyes.
Oh my gosh. Also, you weren't 16 when the movie came out.
Know, but I was an adult and it was scary. I don't remember.
For me, it was the Rugrats movie. When Tommy is literally about to murder his younger brother. Oh my God. Literally. He's going to pour the banana baby food on his brother so he gets ripped apart by the monkeys in the forest.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like I can't even describe how overly dramatic it is for a kid's movie, because it's like holding it above him. It's like lightning and storming outside. It's like he's Abraham over Isaac with a dagger, something horrible. And you're watching the movie, you're like, oh my gosh, don't do it, Tommy.
Wow. That's intense.
So nothing like that in this movie.
So Sean,
just a lot of snarky humor, a lot of illumination.
What would you rate Mario movie? Out of 10?
Or out of 5 stars?
In my heart, a 3 out of 10.
Wow.
I think if you rate it as a movie, looking at the story, it blows. but
I'd like to watch it in Japanese. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's the homeworld.
But with all the references and my actual experience, if I had to rate my experience, I loved every second of it. I would give it like a 8 out of 10.
Oh my gosh. You enjoyed it though.
It was everything. It was watching him jump again, and then his third jump is
Right.
it's like the game. Or he ground pounds, and you're like, oh, that's from the game.
Dude.
And the music. Did you like the music? I loved the music. Other than Bowser singing.
Okay. I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking, okay, I like that they used the musical notes from the game. But at the same time, I'm watching the movie thinking, this movie is like a checklist of things Nintendo expected, or that fans expected.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the entire movie. So yes, all the musical notes, as many references to the game as you could like fit without it being a Legend of Zelda movie, a Donkey Kong movie, a Kid Icarus movie. And I was okay with that until they start putting all these licensed music from the 80s in scenes that could not have been more cliche.
And I loved it. Do you remember the old Donkey Kong game?
Yeah.
You probably don't remember the song that went with it, like the main Donkey Kong song.
I couldn't.
Well, when Donkey Kong shows up, it will trigger
DK.
your childhood.
Donkey Kong. Yeah, they do the they
It's
don't
great.
they don't do the rap from the game. They just do the DK. The crowd's
Donkey
chanting.
Kong. Yeah.
I'm not talking about that though, Dave. I'm talking about when they arrive in Kong Island or whatever is Kongland, and they play "Take on Me" by Aha.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Or when Mario is doing his training montage with Peach, and it's "Holding Out for a Hero."
Yeah, you're right. That was weird.
Or when they are going to start repairing a sink because they're plumbers and they're on their way to their next job, and so play Thunderstruck or whatever that song is. And it's just like,
yeah.
I'll say the movie, I've never missed half a movie because I've been on my phone before until today.
Wow.
I just was like, I don't want to, I'm going to be on my phone. My favorite part of the movie was at the very end when after that final end credit scene happened. And my favorite part was just the deafening silence afterwards.
Oh my gosh. Which end credit scene I called exactly. I knew exactly what was going to
I
happen.
got two questions.
Extremely predictable sequel.
I got two questions. Was there a reference to Rainbow Bowser?
Rainbow Bowser?
Yeah, from
There's an
the
extended
N64.
Rainbow Road sequence.
It's a Rainbow Road sequence.
But the Rainbow Bowser is the final boss for the Mario 64. Was there any Mario Galaxy references?
Yes.
Couple, yeah.
Rosalina's little star.
Nice.
Rosalina's not in it, but that little
The star is.
What did you think of that character? Because that
Just a very tasteless decision for a kid's film.
for a kids movie, yeah, it's weird.
Dang.
He's like, well, it's sarcastic. It's all the humor is ironic. So it's this cute little baby star who constantly talks about the sweet release of death.
Oh.
Yeah, constantly saying like, "Yay, like, we're
Soon
gonna
it'll be
die.
over.
Can't wait."
And I'm like, okay, I get that could be like a really subversive, like funny punchline once,
Right.
but it was every single line from the character.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying the character is too intense for kids. I'm just saying as an adult who knows what he's saying,
There's gotta be a way out of here.
There's no escape. The only hope is the sweet relief of death.
Whoa! Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
I'm like, this is not funny anymore. This is just
Dang. And then
Weird.
he fights Donkey Kong in the trailer. Is that like the only Super Smash Bros. Reference?
Yeah, there's a part. I mean, they fight for a while, and then there's a part where he gets uppercutted and he flies up like Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
I was disappointed at the very end when they're fighting Bowser and they kind of do their ultimate punch. I was a little disappointed it wasn't the striking noise from Super Smash Bros. When you hit a critical hit.
I know.
I was actually expecting it. It was one of the, like Dave said, he could predict so many things. It was one of the few things I was predicting would happen,
And it didn't.
and it didn't happen. Unless I didn't hear
Well,
it right.
what they did to Bowser was exactly what I thought and what I would have wanted to.
Sure.
Okay.
So
That's good to know. I will say that Mario Galaxy was like a game I didn't even want to play because it was on GameCube, I think. And
Yeah.
it was like I was either gonna buy that game or another game. I'm like, And then I played Mario. Or no, it was on Wii.
It was on
because
Wii.
you could collect the stars with the controller.
Yeah.
That was a really, really good Mario game. I was extremely.
It's funny
impressed.
you said that. After seeing the Mario movie, I went to like an old vintage game store to find Galaxy to buy it and play it again.
Nice.
But I couldn't find it. I ended up.
You know what? No, I'm confusing two things. Galaxy was always good, and I was excited about it, and it was even better than I expected. But Mario Sunshine was the one that came with my GameCube, and I didn't play it. I think I returned it for the other game that had come out at the same time.
There's a Sunshine reference in the background somewhere. I think it's like a surf shop. It's like a surfing
I didn't even
store.
catch
That game was really good
It's got
too,
the
though.
Sunshine logo on it.
Whatever the two games were when the Wii came out, do you remember, Sean? It was Mario Sunshine and something else.
Super Mario Sunshine was on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 were
Right.
on.
I'm saying though, it wasn't even a Mario game. There was a Mario Sunshine and another game, and I literally got my GameCube
Super Smash Bros.
with Mario Sunshine, and I returned it after playing it for like a day, and I got the other game. And then way later on in life, I actually got Mario Sunshine, and I loved it, and I was really mad at myself for returning it. all those
Luigi's
years ago.
Mansion came out with it.
I don't know. Then maybe I'm wrong.
I will say
Maybe
that
I didn't return it. Maybe I just stopped playing it.
Wave Race, the jet ski game.
I did have that. Yeah,
I remember we played that.
classic.
Well, I just like to confess, I wasn't the Nintendo kid growing up.
Right.
I played, our first console was a Super Nintendo. I played tons of Donkey Kong Country, probably a lot of Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
I think it was just like one of those things where at that age, it wasn't like a critical enough age for me. So I couldn't like fully get into it.
Sure.
And I didn't become like a diehard fan about those certain kinds of games until I got older and I started playing like PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then that was when I was old enough to like really start attaching to things. So Super Mario for me, I think even as I got older, I was like, well, no, that's for kids. That's the kids' games. That's for little kids. And I'm too cool to watch Blue's Clues anymore.
For sure.
I'm too cool to play Mario games. I'm not going to play N60. I'm not going to play Super Mario 64. Who cares if I've never beat it? I don't need to beat it. Or Donkey Kong 64. Never beat that.
I've never beat it either. I beat it, but I never collected all the
I
bananas.
watched somebody beat it. It wasn't me though.
Have you seen people speed run Mario 64 on YouTube?
It's one of the most popular speedrun games in the world.
That game, that was like the first game that we played. Like we had Super Nintendo, but when we got N64, we didn't get Zelda. I never played Zelda on N64.
I never got into any of the Zelda games. I played almost all of them, but I never could get into them.
All we played was Mario 64. And like everybody in my family took turns. Oldest sibling, me and David are 2 of 5 kids. So it was like everybody took turns and we watched each other.
I'm one of 5 kids.
Oh my gosh. It's like our moms know each other or something and they planned it.
Weird.
So that wraps up Super Mario. We talked for a while on that. Sean, how many
let
dungeons?
me tell you about a real game, a man's game for men and adults.
Wait, can I ask you one more question, quick? Mario
Yes.
related? Without ruining it for Austin, what did you think of Bowser's motivation in the movie?
It was funny at first, and then it got really overdone.
I thought it was very weird, and I don't remember that being in the games at all.
It's not even a spoiler. It is in the games. The idea is always Bowser's trying to marry Princess Peach so he can rule the Mushroom Kingdom.
Right.
It's
didn't
very
know that.
simple. I mean, it couldn't be more. It's literally like, I'm going to capture the princess and force her to marry me so I can be king. He's Jafar. It's not that complicated. It's very simple. A child can understand it. So I don't know why they keep doing these extended jokes about him trying to like write a song for her, and he's like pretending one of his henchmen is Princess Peach so he can practice asking her out. And it could have been funny, but I'm like, Bowser, you don't need to like complicate this character. I don't know.
Right.
So that was one of the things you were
just
saying.
so cynical.
They kind of muddied the water a little bit more than they should have. They made it a little more complicated than it should have been.
It's not the complication, it's the snark. It's being pedantic.
Wow.
It's being being fatuous.
I've never heard
Fatuous.
either of those words.
But let me tell you about a real game.
Tell me, Sean.
Game for adults, for men and women, not
Manly women, but
children.
adults?
It's called Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my gosh.
Remember when you were little and you used to like play pretend? You played cops and robbers, or you were superheroes, or we were Jedi Knights.
Always.
You'd like grab sticks in the yard and you
Still
just
do.
use your imagination, let it go wild.
Yeah.
You can still do that.
How, Sean?
In fact, you can do that not only with your cousins in your backyard, but with people all over the world.
What?
You can play Dungeons and Dragons.
How do I do that?
And use your imagination as an adult. You can use up all of that knowledge and wisdom you've obtained, and you can make your imagination go even further and farther beyond you ever could have as a child.
But Sean, I know nothing about Dungeons and Dragons. Is there a way that I could consume knowledge about it in like a watered down multimedia event?
No.
Oh, never mind then.
You can watch a well-made movie though.
Whoa.
I saw Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves last weekend, and I really liked it.
Well, that's good to hear.
I thought it was, that's an example of a movie that is a little bit more snarky and sarcastic with its humor, but it works really well.
Okay.
And I think it's the kind of movie that rewards, Super Mario Brothers movies does this as well, but like, if you've been a fan of that kind of stuff for a long time, then watching the movie is rewarding because you get to laugh at and enjoy the very obscure details and references that most people probably would not have been able to.
Sure.
And that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
you're in the know.
Yeah. I also think it's the exact kind of tone you should have for a Dungeons and Dragons movie because it is silly. It takes itself not too seriously. It's, but it's not, it doesn't like break the fourth wall. It's not like as if at any point in the movie, the camera pulls back and it's revealed like, oh, it's just a bunch of people sitting around a table and this is all being made up. It's not like that. It takes its world literally, but it has fun with it.
Cool.
And Dungeons and Dragons is like that. Dungeons and Dragons can be extremely serious when you want it to be. And then it can also be just totally dumb, ridiculous humor like we do.
Yeah.
When you get a bunch of guys sitting around a table together and you just start riffing off of each other, that's when Dungeons and Dragons is extremely fun. It doesn't have to be overly dramatic and serious. I don't know why, but Chris Pine as an actor, sometimes I've not always been a fan of him.
Okay.
But I thought he was just really fun in this movie.
Is it because he was in Wonder Woman?
Yes.
There it is.
Michelle Rodriguez, another character who I feel like she is so typecast that I almost worry about her. But she's fine in this movie. It works. It's really funny. A great cameo by Bradley Cooper, which I won't spoil. Justice Smith is fun in it. Everybody in the movie is really fun.
All right.
Really good setups, reminders, and payoffs. That's right.
Sean learned me about that.
A good, well-written script, a full, fleshed out narrative. And again, it's actually the kind of movie I would like to watch it again. I was thinking about this yesterday because one of my traditions for every family holiday over at my mom's house is I get there like 2 hours early before everybody else shows up. And I see if I can actually sit and watch a movie before everybody gets there.
Wow.
I've never been able to do it for two reasons. Because my mom is always like, Sean, can you do this? Sean, can you do that?
Naturally.
And then there's the vacuuming.
Right.
And then there's our cousin Anthony going, Sean, let's go for a walk.
Right.
It's like, guys,
He loves walks.
I'm 80 minutes into a 90-minute movie. We're almost there. But it's also like, what's the perfect movie to just like have in the background to like get in that mood?
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite would be a good example. Perfect film.
Hot Rod.
Hot Rod, yes.
I was trying to get a couple of my employees on the Hot Rod train.
It's a perfect movie.
I'm gonna ask them every day of their lives if they've seen it yet until they see it.
Hot Rod's a great movie. It's a perfect movie. Just perfect movie. Apollo 13.
Wow.
That's just a good, wholesome movie to have on in the background.
Sure.
You can turn it on and watch and just sit there and watch any part of it. And it's good.
There's one problem, Sean.
What?
We never went to the moon.
Oh.
And also birds aren't real.
Well, we didn't.
So what do you give it 1 out of 10?
Dungeons and Dragons, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. 8 out of 10. That was really fun. I look forward to a sequel if possible.
Sean gives it 20% higher rating than Mario.
What did I give Mario?
3.
Oh, I need to do lower than that. I don't think your math checks out there either.
1 out of 5. 20%.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you gave it a 3 out of 5.
I gave it a 1.5 out of 5.
Oh no.
It's like 45%.
36. All right, Sean, what is a Resident Evil?
Okay.
And why did they remake it 4 times?
Well, I've been talking about being excited for one thing in my life in the future. You know, I used to have a list. I used to have this this checklist on a notebook in my bedroom, and it was inspired by that meme of I don't remember, what is it? Is it Wolverine looking at picture in his bed?
Reminiscing.
Yeah, I had a list that I would look at every once in a while, and it was called Reasons to Live.
Oh, no.
And it was like all these movies and video games that were coming out eventually that I was really excited about. And one of them was Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Wow.
And it finally came out. And of course, you know, the video game studio that produced it had the audacity to have it come out, release the morning I was supposed to leave for Italy.
Wow.
So I could only play it for like 7 hours.
Wow.
You know, be up at midnight right as it unlocks, and then I can play it until...
It's actually a good strategy, because then you know you're going to sleep on the plane. You don't have an option.
I didn't sleep on the plane.
Dang,
I can't sleep on a plane.
That's
I can't
a
do
fail.
it. It's a great game. I love it.
That's great.
It makes me very happy.
What's the remake improve on?
Well, probably the fact that you can now move and reload at the same time.
Wow.
You could. Well, the original Resident Evil 4 originally released for the GameCube in, I think, 2004.
Wow.
It is.
Holy cow.
I mean, it's just generally known as one of the greatest games of all time.
Sure.
It's very highly acclaimed, and the remake was a long anticipated remake. But Capcom has been doing remakes of all of the Resident Evil games. They did a remake of Resident Evil 1. And it was okay, but it was maybe a little bit too much like the original Resident Evil to a fault.
Right.
Because the original Resident Evil has like the tank controls, where like a locked camera and your character moves forward and side. You know, like you're so limited in movement. And Resident Evil 2 remake though was a fantastic improvement because it took more of the Resident Evil 4 style of gameplay. Okay. And to put that into the Resident Evil 2 setting and story.
What year were these remakes coming out?
Resident Evil 2 remake was probably 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Resident Evil 3 remake came out, I think, the following year.
Gotcha.
Now, Resident Evil 3 remake is maybe not as good as Resident Evil 2 remake, but I played that thing to death. I mean, I platinumed everything in that game over the course of a week. I loved playing that game. And so you can imagine how excited I was for Resident Evil 4.
Dude, yeah.
And I'm currently, I've already beaten the game. I've played through the game multiple times, and I am currently trying to speedrun through the game and complete it on its hardest difficulty.
Wow.
Which is tough. But I'll say, you know, you brought up the Super Mario Brothers N64 speedrunning.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4, the original, its speedrunning community is very, very big. Wow. That is a very popular speedrun game.
I'm going to watch a video tonight, Sean.
And,
you've inspired me.
You know, the game's only been out for a few weeks, and already all these people have been like breaking the game wide open as far as finding glitches and shortcuts and skips.
Dang.
I kid you not. Today, I spent 45 minutes. It was 45 minutes trying over and over and over again to perform this glitch where you can clip through a door and save 20 minutes of gameplay.
Wow.
Dang.
But I had to do it. Now let me tell you.
Do you know how to do it?
That's a story of triumph of the human spirit.
Yeah.
Because it took me about 35 minutes to do it. Once I got it, and then I reloaded my save to keep practicing. It took me about 6 tries to do it a second time, and then I reloaded my save once more before I had to get going, and I did it on the first try.
Dude.
Dang.
Legendary.
I had a character arc. It's like I was the hero of the story.
Yeah. You acquired a lot of XP today.
So I just want to say Resident Evil 4, obviously, you know, longtime listeners of this podcast know I've been mentioning it for a while.
You have. I haven't been paying attention to any of those mentions, though.
So it's a 5 out of 5. It's a great game.
It's great to hear, Sean. I can say that I've never played any of those games.
It's so good, it relieves me of the depression from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Dang.
Yeah.
You better get on it after this, then.
And then meanwhile, you have Dave, who just has been enjoying all of it.
Just a happy little clan.
No, you remind me of how I felt when I saw they're making Battlefront 3.
Oh!
So you know what I did?
shoot.
I was so happy. I went and posted it to all my friends and said, yo, let's go. This game is great. It's coming out again. Then I did some digging.
Oh, no.
My source.
Don't ever dig.
Credible source. Always credible. And it's Star Wars Celebration. So,
Right.
I mean, April Fool's was what? 10 days ago?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
So I'm like, yeah, this is concrete. So I look into it just to see, I want to see more details about it. When,
Right.
What are they going to add to
Ooh.
it? So I tracked it through 4 sources to the main source, which was originally an April Fool's post.
Oh, you son of a bee.
So Battlefront 3 is not happening.
I'm sorry, Dave.
David did some investigative journalism today.
So that sucks.
I'm sorry,
That
Dave.
does suck, David. But speaking of Star Wars
Dave,
Celebration,
if there ever is a Battlefront 3, I'm more excited for you to play it than I am to play it.
Thank you. You can watch me play it if you want.
we could stream it.
That'd be sweet.
Let's fire up the old Twitch
It won't even be streaming the gameplay. It'll just be a close-up camera on you.
of you.
Yeah, with my mouth open playing.
That reminds me, in Super Mario Brothers movie, when they introduced the scene where Bowser's singing this piano melody or ballad about Princess Peach, it's such a weird nitpick. I can't help it though. The camera is so close on his face. It's like gross. Like I can't. It's not even like it's a close up of his mouth singing or his eyes. It's just like a close up of like this area, so you can. It's just like a blob moving in the face of the camera lens.
Dang.
So,
All right. Well,
Dave, you've opened up Pandora's box because even though that was an April Fool's joke about Battlefront 3, there's a lot of things that happened this week that are not an April Fool's joke, unless we consider the fact that it is April. And maybe we're going to be fools for thinking any of this stuff is interesting.
oh no.
Yeah, and who knows if it's even going to happen because they announce stuff and then, it falls through the cracks. Patty Jenkins, Rogue Squadron, Ryan Johnson, Trilogy.
When you
That's
plant,
actually might still happen.
when you plant, when you plant crops in a field, you expect some of them aren't going to mature, and you might have to throw some of them out.
Right.
But I feel like movies are a much more complicated beast. You shouldn't announce anything without knowing it's going to happen.
Right. And that's the thing. You plant those crops, a year later we come back, we want to see something, not a field of manure.
Oh my gosh.
Hit the button.
4 words went through my head.
So David,
Star Wars Celebration 2023, I think concluded today actually.
Yeah.
So I think all the news is out. The main piece of news, the biggest thing we got.
Hey, did you see that?
3 new movies coming.
yeah.
Which who knows if they're gonna happen? No, Kathleen Kennedy said these are.
Oh, we love her.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy.
I've been rewatching Light and Magic documentary on Disney Plus. I'll say, I respect Kathleen.
I respect her.
I don't.
She's been around for a long time.
I think I'd like knowing her as a person.
Sure.
So I respect her. I like her as a person, and that's the best I can do.
I don't think anybody listening to this podcast needs you to stand up for her.
Wow.
Yeah, she came out and said that they're far into the development of these 3 movies coming.
Right.
So they gave us past, present, and future.
In a development
3
far,
movies.
far away.
1, the past. We get a movie directed by James Mangold. He directed Logan, and he's directing the upcoming Indiana Jones movie.
Why are they making another one
Steven
of
Spielberg's not?
Nope.
Oh no! What have I done?
He
those?
might. I
Hold
don't
on.
know.
Did Steven Spielberg do the Crystal Skulls?
He's done them all.
Well,
Well, he might be involved. I don't
if he
know.
did that one, then
It's not going to be the same.
But anyway, James Mangold's
that's the hope.
past movie is going to be hundreds of thousands of, maybe not hundreds, tens of thousands of years before episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Right.
This is going to be the dawn of the Jedi. The very first Jedi, which is legit.
That is
Sounds like-
legit.
Sounds
Exploring
like a
the
prequel.
Force. And,
That's freaking sweet.
Sounds like a prequel to Knights of the Old Republic.
yeah,
Because you know
exactly
what
what it
Star Wars
sounds
needs
like.
more of? Origin stories.
Hell yeah.
exactly. Let's get a prequel
Backstories.
on a prequel.
Show me all your organs.
Just like you know what that Super Mario Brothers movie needed? An origin story to Princess Peach.
Which I think that's going to be the second movie. That's my theory.
How about it just as nothing?
Dang.
And I think
on.
Daisy's going to come in.
I wish.
So anyway, that's our first movie in the past.
She's the better one.
Yeah,
Our
she is.
present movie is going to be directed by none other than Dave Filoni.
Heck yeah.
He finally got a movie.
Taps off.
Started at animation of the Clone Wars,
Yep.
made his way to Mando,
Yep.
and now
Rebels, then Mando.
Yes, Clone Wars, Rebels, Mando, and now he's getting his live action people going in the new Ahsoka show coming out.
Yeah.
Well, then he's been directing episodes of these television series.
Yeah, he started with animated TV. Now he's in real life TV.
Which
now
is
he's getting a
real
movie.
TV.
So the movie's going to be the Mandoverse. He gets to conclude his Mandalorian show. And this
So they want to conclude their Mandalorian, Ahsoka, all these like
Boba Fett.
different things that are happening around the same time. They want to
Yep.
conclude it with a movie.
Yep.
Yep.
Is a TV show not good enough?
I guess not. I am excited for Dave Filoni. I also feel bad for him because he has become the sole human, him and Jon Favreau, but he is the sole human now who is in charge of bridging this gap and fixing the Palpatine problem. Fixing the problem of somehow Palpatine returned.
I'll fix it.
Yeah, you've got like
I'll do
points of Star Wars on a timeline.
Yeah.
Of like the movies and all this stuff. And Dave Filoni has only been able to operate within other people's points on the timeline.
Right.
And he makes the best content.
He does, and I feel like it's his strength. I love Dave Filoni, but would Dave Filoni flourish if we said, hey, make a story about the first ever Jedi? Is he capable of that?
Right.
Or is he only capable of saying, listen, okay, there's good things on this side, and then you really screwed up here, so I'm going to create the story that blends it all together and makes it all cohesive.
Right. When he has A and Z,
Right.
he's good at doing B to Y.
Exactly.
But can he do A to Z?
Can he do
AZ.
0 to 9?
He created AZ already.
Just before the letters.
AZ is a Jedi or a droid in Bad Batch. But
Nice.
over your head. So
That did. Good reference.
What are you guys talking about?
So yeah, Dave Filoni's getting his movie. I'm super excited for that. And then third, we get, and they brought out someone to announce our third movie, Daisy Ridley.
Why is she announcing the third movie,
Oh my
David?
gosh, Rey Skywalker is on the scene to announce that Rey will be returning
What?
to the big screen.
What?
See, it's funny because I think that was just a rumor last week until she stood on the stage and it's like, oh, I guess it's not made up.
Here's why this movie sucks.
Well, we don't know what
my
it is yet because I didn't
gosh.
say what it is.
Go ahead, David.
So it's going to be a movie. This is the future movie. It's going to be a movie about 15 years or so after episode 9.
Daisy Ridley is not 15 years older than she was in episode 9, Dave.
Right. So emotionally, maybe she's going to be building the Jedi Order.
Dave.
Rebuilding it.
Dave, she's not 15 years older than...
I know. I don't know what they're doing. It might not come out for 15 years. Who knows?
Here's why this sucks. Because Dave Filoni is trying to work so hard to fix what they screwed up. And now they're just going to keep pushing the story on that was already up. And nobody asked for this.
I think what they're doing is they're testing the waters. We're going to give something way before the timeline, where we're at in the timeline, and way after. And what do the fans like best?
Right. So that if this movie sucks, they don't have to worry about filling in that gap. It just sucks, and then they cut it off.
Like Solo. But
Yeah.
the fans have spoken, and they are not happy about Rey. So
Here's why this movie is awesome, though. Let me flip it on you.
Do it.
They can fix the Finn problem.
that's what I was going to say.
They can make him the Jedi he should have been all along. They can develop his character and make him the strong lead he should have been. Make Rey the hermit Luke figure who sucks.
How dare you?
I said it. And so did you in your blog post, dang it.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. You actually defended it.
I
agreed with
gave a
everything
very
you said.
I gave a very compelling inversion of what people
And I
think of
agreed with everything you
Skywalker.
said. But here's the other tidbit of information, guys, that I saw on the interwebs. Sean, how old was Yoda when he became a Jedi Master? About 100 years
Who
old,
cares? I don't know.
according to somebody on Twitter.
Do I need to know?
I have no idea where they pulled that information from. I haven't read the High Republic stuff. But apparently, Yoda became a Jedi Master around 100 years old. David, do you know with that timeline how old Grogu will be? About 91 years old.
oh my gosh.
Grogu, Finn, Jedi Council members under the leadership of Rey.
Dang.
And somebody drew Grogu with dreads, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Why
in
not
the
a
middle of a
Mandalorian?
battle.
Why not a Mandalorian helmet?
Does he have Mandalorian gear?
He doesn't. So I don't know what happens.
What the heck?
You think he gets Darksaber? The Darksaber.
Maybe.
Do you think he keeps the big old shield dish on his chest? It's oversized thing.
You better. Maybe he melds it down into his hilt.
See, I don't know how I feel about like. In the grand scheme of things, Mando and Grogu are kind of minor characters.
For now.
But that's what I'm saying. You have a
So
lot.
was Luke Skywalker, David.
No, he
So
wasn't.
are me
The whole
and
what?
you and you.
It's just a farm round.
The whole thing was about Luke.
It's whatever.
It's
So-
the minor characters that we love the most in life.
But what I'm saying is,
Why we love Nub Nub.
at the end of the day,
And,
I don't like
Gunji.
this. I don't like this idea that they take minor characters and then just kind of look the other way of the major events going on to then bring them back in later on. It's like people want Mace Windu to come back in the Boba Fett show.
Right.
It's like, where the do you think Mace Windu has been during all of this?
That creates such a problem that you have to
I
explain.
don't like that.
Yeah.
So
I also think sometimes Star Wars fans are a little disconnected from reality because they maybe forget to separate the fact that these are characters, but they're also played by people who literally sign their likeness away for these characters.
Right.
So, you know, if you want to have Mace Windu back, you have to have Sam Jackson back.
Right.
Otherwise, it's really weird to not. So, actually, great point is you guys are mentioning the idea of Finn in a new Jedi Order movie. I can say John Boyega has a lot of reasons to never return to Star Wars.
True.
Unless they put a very, very good script in his hand.
yeah,
True.
I agree.
So here's why I'll disagree with you, Austin. I almost never do until today.
Wow. This is
I'm actually interested in this movie, this new Jedi Order movie.
okay.
Here's why.
Who's directing it?
The
Bill Williams?
the director.
Is that Taika Waititi?
Tutu Wakaka.
Yeah, Tutu Wakata.
As I've asked before, what even is a director?
I don't know.
What is their job?
I can't find her name. Charmin Obaid Chinoy.
Oh, yeah. I saw a picture of her.
Well, I'm interested in this movie because everybody loves a redemption arc.
Sure.
And I think you gotta, everybody's all poo-pooing Miss Daisy,
Right.
and they're all butthurt and disappointed about The Rise of Skywalker.
No doubt.
But I think time can heal some wounds.
Sure.
And give it a few years and give it some time. And it's like, look, guys, it was kind of a mess back there. We know.
Yeah, but you don't
But
reopen the wound.
let's pick up the pieces, and with a really good script, a really good story,
Right.
you can build a new Jedi Order and make it something really cool and special.
Here's my question, Sean. What do you...
Except you don't have to lie and try to gaslight an audience into thinking that it's been 15 years later when it hasn't.
True. All I want is them to have a cohesive plan because they didn't for 7, 8, 9. And we'll dive into that. We've talked about it a little bit. We plan on doing a deep dive on those 3 movies coming up here shortly. But can you just get a group of people together and just have Dave Filoni consult on some stuff? Just have Jon Favreau consult. Have the big talking heads, the big figures of Lucasfilm right now. Everybody put your heads together and make this script stellar. And don't F it up.
I agree with you, except I think you don't need a group of people. You need one person. You need somebody who of course will take feedback from others.
Sure.
But I think you got to have somebody who's got the conviction to do something, and they refuse to sway from that.
Okay.
Because otherwise what you'll have is movies designed by committee, which is what you end up with Rise of Skywalker.
Right. You're right. Too many cooks in the kitchen.
And then, if you give somebody...
We need Gordon Ramsay.
If you give somebody who's got yes. I've been actually watching YouTube montages of Gordon Ramsay yelling at people lately.
I would love to see him with Kathleen Kennedy. Just 2 bread between her head. What are you? I'm an idiot sandwich.
2 TIE fighters.
But I think that you got to find somebody who's going to say, I'm going to take this chunk of Star Wars history. Mm-hmm. It's going to be new Jedi Order circa, I don't know, what do you call post Rise of Skywalker? BS. I'm going to take the storyline from 5 BS till 15 BS. I'm going to have a decade-long series of movies. I don't direct them all. I don't write them all, but I have the vision for where this is going to go. And that's my chunk. That's my slot.
There we go.
And then there's sequel movies way before that. There's still Andor and Ahsoka and the Mandoverse. There's still all those other pieces getting worked on by other people.
Yeah.
But I really want somebody to feel they have the will and the drive and the focus and the creative vision of where they really want this to go. Because otherwise, like if there's no passion for a specific destination in the story, you're not going to find it accidentally.
Right.
So that's why, I personally can sit here and think of like a really cool, compelling character arc for Rey and Finn going forward.
Here's what I'm worried about, though.
And Grogu.
Rey never learned how to fight with a lightsaber in an articulate way.
I've already told you guys, I could fix The Force Awakens in one shot.
What's that, Sean? I forget.
We'll get into it when we do our deep dive.
Fair enough. I'm worried, though, she's going to train an entire generation on how to fight like a bunch of dweebs.
You know, they did a pretty good job. I was rewatching Force Awakens. They did a very good job of explaining that as somebody who's been an orphan for most of her life, she knows how to fight. She's got her quarterstaff.
Right.
I think the character problem we have with, well, how does she know how to fight with a lightsaber, has a little bit more to do with the fact that the choreography sucks.
Sure.
Than like as a character, we don't buy it.
Right. Yeah,
So-
that's true.
And which is why I've always felt like Rey should have had a double-bladed lightsaber in those movies. Because it was like, it would sync exactly with her fighting style.
You're absolutely right, Sean.
Maybe next time we see her, she'll have one.
Maybe. How are they going to spin that, though?
And if she doesn't, Dave,
I mean, that would be messed up if she did.
I mean, Darkseid.
what are you talking about?
They end the last movie with her getting a new lightsaber. You think they're gonna pick up the new movie with a different one than that?
Yeah, but you'll just
Such a slap in the
you'll
face.
just see the other end of it, and it'll also be a yellow blade.
The
I was
other
gonna say
end was in the sand.
Such a slap to the face to me because I buy lightsabers.
But you didn't buy her lightsaber.
Not yet, and it's the cheapest one. I don't even want it.
All right, so David, what else did they announce? Because there was a lot.
I was just thinking about it. This Mando movie could be pretty legit. Because
It
like,
will be.
What's going on in the universe at this point? They already brought in Luke. Luke is the prominent figure. Luke could come into this movie.
Oh my gosh. We could see the epic Luke battle that we always wanted, but we didn't get.
Right.
Because R2 just dropped Grogu off in the X-Wing.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's like the rise of the
Frickin'
New
cheap.
Republic and like the fall of that. I guess.
So what happens to Luke in this Mando movie
To turn him
where he
into-
becomes?
Because that's what Dave Filoni's great at. He's gonna do it.
He's got to fill in the gap. Something happens.
Again, I just want to say the gap between the Mandalorian's Luke and the flashback we have of when Kylo Ren betrayed Luke, that's like a 20-something year gap.
True.
So would you like to wait that long?
No, I wouldn't.
That's why when everybody say, oh, I bet Rey's the daughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm like, guys, Star Wars came out in 1977.
Right.
Daisy Ridley wasn't born in 1977.
Yeah. Granddaughter.
She wasn't born in 1987.
Then how do you fix that second layer? But that's what they did with Palpatine.
You just lie.
They just create a second layer of kid
just lie.
that then created the grandkid.
Which even Dave Filoni was like, I'm not even gonna go there. Whatever. But speaking of Dave Filoni,
Talk about
they said Bad Batch season 3 will be the finale
Heck yeah.
to this show.
I heard that fan
done with
favorite Fennec Shand,
Oh my gosh.
a fan favorite bounty hunter, Fennec Shand,
Do
will
me a
be
favor.
in
Do me a favor.
season 3.
Go to any store, any like Meijer, Walmart, Kmart, if it's still there. Go to any store. Go to like the DVD section.
Kmart's legit.
Radio Shack.
Go towards the back.
Circuit City.
You'll find some Funko Pops. You know which ones you're gonna find? Fennec Shand, because nobody wants her.
David, Star Wars Twitter said she's a fan favorite. And
No.
she'll be back.
Nope. They're literally, if you go to Five Below, they're paying you to take their Fennec Shand
Sure.
Funkos because they printed or they made too many.
Yeah, Fennec Shand's a little overrated. And by a little, I mean, yes, overrated.
I think you could just stake out a dumpster and wait for the employees to dump boxes of her in there.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But then you'd still have to pay somebody to take them from you. It's a loss.
Just get Daredevil to grab him. He's always in dumpsters.
Wow.
That's true.
I haven't watched enough of the show. I'm sorry, guys.
So
I don't get the reference.
Did you just kill that guy? He'll live. He landed on Funko Pops.
oh yeah, that's a great reference, Sean. I know exactly what you're talking about. You don't, because you don't watch Daredevil, you jerk.
Not yet.
Very busy man.
Not yet.
Ahsoka asked Daredevil, "Did you just kill that guy?"
Ahsoka?
Yeah.
It was Ahsoka.
What? Oh, it was Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this. I don't know if you're gonna get to Ahsoka next.
That's next.
The trailer dropped. It was the first time for me that I felt like I was watching a real life version of Ahsoka. I don't know what it was. The shots they were doing where she's got her hood up. I was like, that's Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Everything that we've seen of live action Ahsoka so far has felt
Doesn't
like a
hit.
different brand.
Yeah, doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit. Yeah.
Which is funny. I mean, someone go check on Ashley Eckstein, because they brought every voice actor from Rebels into the live action show except Ahsoka, which she probably isn't good at acting. She's
Maybe
probably
not.
just the voice.
She's a voice.
She sounds like a
legit, though.
squirrel.
She's always at Star Wars Celebration. She's got.
I mean, that's all she's got.
She's got a legion of fans.
She's never moved past it.
She shouldn't. She is Ahsoka. But anyway, the trailer looks really legit. I mean, you get your what's her face.
Yep. So
Hera's there.
Hold on.
Sabine.
Hera is played by Ewan McGregor's wife.
what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't know when they recently got married. That's his wife. So his daughter was an Obi-Wan. He is Obi-Wan. And his wife is Hera Syndulla.
Holy cow.
We didn't get Hera Syndulla's son, though.
Right.
Kanan's son.
I don't remember what his name is, but I guess like Caleb. No, that's Kanan's name.
Caleb Dune, yeah.
What's up with the actress who plays adult Sabine? Is that voice? Is that the voice actress?
It's not the voice
I
actress.
guess I'm lying then. Really? Zeb is coming back as the guy
Well,
who
he just has to be the voice.
Again, he's just the voice.
But he also did the motion capture. The
What's-
voice actor did.
Grand Admiral Thrawn,
Yeah.
they brought him back, which that voice is so unique, you almost need that.
Yeah. It would have been weird.
Let me say this. I did not know that actor voiced Thrawn. And so when I found out he was going to play Thrawn, I was like, dude, that's S++ tier casting, because that is exactly the kind of guy I want to play Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah.
Because he's like this overwhelmingly tall, insidious character actor.
Yeah.
And he's like, Lars Mikkelsen is just like amazing in everything he is. And then I found out he voiced him.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
Home run.
Which
Home run.
The books about Thrawn are amazing.
I got to read them because there's a direct reference to the book, right?
Heir to the Empire.
Heir to the Empire.
Yep. Those books are really good. It's all about who Thrawn is, his rise into the ranks of the Empire.
Yeah.
But he is the main villain in Rebels, the TV show.
Right.
At least seasons.
The later seasons.
Later
Yeah.
seasons.
Which
The last few.
there's kind of a cliffhanger at the end of Rebels, and this Ahsoka show's picking that up.
Yeah.
Where-
So the actress who plays Sabine is not the voice. She looks like Sabine. It's a good casting.
I would say she doesn't look like Sabine at all, because I thought Sabine had white hair with like pink highlights. No.
Sabine changes her hair every season.
Oh my gosh.
That's her thing. She's like an artist. Like at one point in Rebels, they capture a TIE fighter and she literally like graffiti paints the whole thing.
Dang.
It's like that's her thing.
She's like Hope from Ant-Man.
yeah,
Just always changes her hair.
change your hair.
Your hair.
There was a very
Guy lost it in the theater.
there was a very brief shot of a hologram Ezra. Don't know the actor that's playing him.
I don't either.
It's
don't
the
know
guy
if-
from Aladdin, isn't it?
No, that was a rumor. It was never
cast.
confirmed.
I can't get excited about anything anymore.
I know. That would have been a great casting too.
That would have been pitch perfect.
Are we gonna get any flashbacks with Kanan? Can I get a hell yeah?
I think Force Ghost Kanan.
Oh my gosh, give it to me.
Do you think he's still blind as a Force ghost?
No, because he got his eyesight back just before he died.
His sacrifice.
The Force granted him his eyesight back.
Dang,
Sean.
just like Samson, but not.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kanan's death is like a top 3 Star Wars moment. in my opinion.
It's so good.
I see videos all the time. I watch it every single time. It gives me bumpy gooses every single time,
Bumpy gooses.
and I almost cry every single time.
All my top Star Wars moments are in my head. They don't exist yet. They'll be there when I make them.
I can't wait to be there alongside you as you shoot them.
I don't have a single
I'll be getting your coffee.
I don't have a single prediction about Ahsoka because I haven't finished Rebels. I didn't watch enough Clone Wars to be familiar with Ahsoka. I'll watch it. But the only prediction I have is, do you think it's possible that while he's been captured and imprisoned by Thrawn, that Ezra will be a dark force user?
See, the thing is, Ezra has always
it'd be like a sub-antagonist for the beginning part of the
He's
show.
always had an edge to him where he's not afraid to tap in to his anger.
At least not in season 1, though, where he's like this extraordinarily obnoxious kid.
Yeah. Later on, season 3, he starts he takes control of a AT walker, and he basically has the AT walker shoot the other AT walker, shoot all the stormtroopers, and then walk off the edge of a cliff. And everybody on the Rebels team is like, Ezra, what the man? What did you just do?
Yeah.
I am a princess.
His lightsaber is legit too.
It's got a gun.
It's a gun lightsaber.
Dang, it's like Final Fantasy VIII.
I guess. But there was a couple of new dark side users in the trailer.
Yeah, they look like Inquisitors, which the main guy who has the red lightsaber in it, he is someone. I can't remember who he is right now off the top of my head, actually.
He's got an apprentice, though.
I think he was the voice actor for somebody.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about it. I saw some pictures. Obviously, I saw the trailer, but I saw some pictures. And the lightsabers that they were holding looked off to me. Like, they didn't look like red enough. It didn't have a deep red color. And I started thinking about, you know what? They're still using these FX lightsabers during shooting. We talked about it during the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, how it was not the right way to do it. Whatever you were doing in episode 3 with Anakin and Obi-Wan, that's the correct way to do the lightsaber special effects. Don't use the FX lightsaber. It's not worth it. They take this picture. The color doesn't even look correct. It's ticking me off. My temperature is boiling higher and higher. I'm getting upset.
It sounds like you're saying by trying to make the lightsabers more realistic on set, they've robbed us of the magic they are on
They
film.
100% have. But then I see Dave Filoni with a quote saying, you know what? Yeah, you might notice that the lightsabers have more of an orangish hue to them. That's done on purpose because these characters might not be everything you think they are. And I said, I'll shut up, Dave Filoni. You know what you're doing.
I hope you guys don't put too much stock in that guy.
I do.
He'll let you down.
He will.
And then
I will be absolutely
there to pick up
devastated.
pieces.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I pray for his downfall, and I'm in the pivotal position for when it happens.
Well, Sean, if he needs to fall so you can rise, I don't know if I'll support it, but
Hey,
I do support you.
You guys remember when we saw the trailer for the Kenobi show, and people were so disturbed by the main Inquisitor's face,
Right.
that there was rumors going around that it wasn't actually him.
Right.
I'm just saying sometimes trailers are not worth speculating on.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it was just funny that I thought that. It's like that red doesn't look right. And I got
That's
so
interesting.
worked
That's
up
an
about
interesting
it
detail.
for only him to say like, yeah, it wasn't like as red as you would think they would be. And that's done on purpose.
Yeah. So I the only thing I know is I saw a thumbnail on a website about him, and it said he wasn't a Sith, he wasn't an Inquisitor, he was a Jedi who fell to the dark side.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I saw.
They didn't make their crystals fully bleed because they didn't fully commit to their fall.
All right.
Or
Well,
something.
on that note,
They fly now.
what else, Dave?
So, Tales of the Jedi,
Season 2. Heck yeah. I want to see some Kit Fisto. I want to
Fisto?
whatever. I want to see some Plo Koon action. Orange lightsaber.
Sure.
But we won't get that.
He should have an orange lightsaber.
I want to see
He had one in the video game.
who else. I don't think we need any more Ahsoka content.
I think we're good on Ahsoka. I wouldn't mind seeing like a Luke Ben Solo
Yes.
episode.
Young Ben Solo.
Yes.
Him discovering his Force abilities.
That would be cool.
How about a peak Luke story? Uber powerful Luke
Yeah.
after the fall of the Empire, which is what the Mandoverse is right now.
I actually saw Dave Filoni. Dude, I don't trust anything on the internet actually anymore. I don't know if this is real or not, but I saw a post that said Dave Filoni asked George Lucas if he could bring Plo Koon back.
Dang.
And he said no.
Son of a gun.
So
He got blown up in the ship.
yeah.
You know, I just come on, guys. Sometimes when somebody, You can let somebody go.
No, Sean.
You have to let him go.
He's one of your favorites.
He is, but
I just want you
to let
to
him go.
Oh,
I watched him get blowed up.
Yeah.
dang.
If he was alive, I'd kill him again to make sure he's dead.
Just to feel something.
Just to know I'm living in reality.
So that's good. I just saw today the season 2 trailer for Star Wars Visions.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yay.
I'm a little surprised though. It doesn't continue any of the stories from season 1.
Well, sure.
It's all new stories.
Yeah,
Those are all
just random
one-offs.
stories.
That's what I liked about them. Just get creative with it.
I thought it was interesting though. One is like a claymation style.
Oh my gosh.
The first season.
fighters.
The first season was strictly like hardcore anime style / regular animation, and this one is like totally different styles.
Good.
Yeah, good.
I think those are cool. In fact, I wish they were just all non-canon.
They are non-canon.
They basically
Yeah,
are non-canon.
they are non-canon.
Because the one was like the twins like firing lightsaber nuclear lasers out of their hilts.
That was pretty sweet.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. They showed like a little
Also,
trailer.
I didn't see the trailer for Star Wars Visions, but you're saying none of them seem to be like in an anime Japanimation style.
No, there's some that are.
There was a couple.
Because I watched all the Star Wars Visions in Japanese and I loved doing it.
Wow, that's legit.
Especially the one where it's the group of kids who are like in a rock band and they're speaking Japanese the whole time, and then they like start singing a song with Japanese verses, but then the chorus is in English. That's really fun.
Yeah, that was the worst one.
No, that was the best one.
That's the one that Boba Fett shows up, right?
Yeah.
No, that's one where Jabba the Hutt is going to execute them, but then they play so well, he's like, all right, they can live.
I can see it. That is canon.
They announced season 2 of Andor and showed a little teaser trailer. That's coming in 2024.
Dude, they showed a trailer? I missed it.
Everybody did.
Which I think next year we should go to Star Wars Celebration.
Where's it going to be?
Japan.
No, it's in Japan.
They announced that today.
Isn't it in Japan this year? Aren't they going there this year?
No, 2024. They were in London this year.
London?
Freaking bad.
Why not America?
But
What, am I crazy?
they also showed a little more of the Acolyte show that's coming.
Ooh, yeah.
And we have a kind of a timestamp on it now where we know it's kind of in that High Republic era. So there's some High Republic books out. There's no like High Republic video media, I guess you could say. They just have some books. So the Acolyte will be in that time frame. They casted a Wookiee Jedi who played Chewbacca in the sequel trilogy. That same actor.
They're
is
just trying to keep that actor working.
which I'm sure there's some 7 foot tall people out there.
Yeah, but he's on their payroll. They want to keep him there. I can't for the life of me remember his name. I feel bad.
But fun little fact for you: the Acolyte showrunner. What is a showrunner? I don't even know what that is.
Me neither.
Somebody who shows off all they run.
Someone who just came out to talk about it, or someone who actually made it?
That's a great question.
Or the main actor, maybe.
A showrunner is essentially the producer, or really like the director, because each episode might have a different director. But the showrunner is like the guy who oversees.
Oh, who came up with the idea for the show?
Yes,
I think that's what it is.
and kind of like not even always is the creative guy, but is the one who like calls the shots.
I gotcha.
So a showrunner can often be the reason a show goes downhill quick when they get a new showrunner.
Good news, bad news.
Walking Dead.
We have an extra year to save up to go to Japan because it's in 2025. There is no Star Wars Celebration in 24.
That's what they said about this year, though. And then they had it in London.
I also was watching while you were rambling.
What are you talking about? There's no Star Wars Celebration in 2024.
They announced enough stuff this year, I guess.
What are you talking about?
I will say though, like, okay, so I was just watching the Young Jedi Adventures trailer
They canceled E3 this year.
with Kai and Nubs, and I'm excited for that. My kids are for sure gonna watch that.
Yoda.
But with them dropping the Visions trailer, it just made me think about how, like, even though they weren't announcing anything, it's like, how many people right now are employed by Lucasfilms? How many people right now are working on Star Wars that we didn't even know about?
Too many.
Because they didn't just announce the season. The episodes are done.
Yeah.
And then, like, come May 4th, they're going to drop a bunch of stuff, which is right around the corner.
I'm done.
Oh, no. So it just made me realize, like, even though we can't see it, they're working. Which is a song.
That actually played in my head when you said that.
There you go.
Anyway,
They never stop. They never stop working.
The showrunner for The Acolyte, when they came on stage to announce their show that they came up with, they got really emotional and said Star Wars saved their life.
I saw that.
So this is like they're paying homage.
She also said, I don't care if you like Acolyte or not, Star Wars saved my life. Which leads me to believe, this might suck. I don't want you to come on stage and say, I don't even care if you like this. I love it.
I guess you could take that.
I'm personally all for directors who are like, I don't make this for you. I make this because I think it's really good.
All right. What else has she made, though?
She just watched Star Wars and really liked it.
You know what, though? Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe someone who has prepared their whole life for nothing but a Star Wars series, like when you finally get one, Sean, it's going to be baller.
Yeah, but even George Lucas made American Graffiti and THX 1138.
Yeah, but he's a scrub.
It's true.
Where is he now?
Where is he now?
Oh, I just saw a fun little fact for you.
Swimming in his money pool.
You know how you just said it actually felt like Ahsoka watching the show?
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson, it says, trained 14 hours a week to recreate.
That's not that much.
It's 2 hours a day.
Wow. Honestly,
it's about as much time as I spend in the bathroom.
That's not that much.
Well, she trained for 14 hours a week to recreate the stunts from the show.
All right, well, that's better than
not
7
doing it, I guess. August 2024 and/or season 2. The Acolyte is Frozen meets Kill Bill.
So you didn't say Acolyte.
Wait, what?
Acolyte is twins, right? One falls to the dark, one stays on the light.
What?
Or maybe it's like a father-son duo.
No, it's the...
I read something.
No, don't trust anything.
I trust all of it.
I don't know a single thing about Acolyte until you said it takes place in the High Republic era. That's all I know so far. Is there anything else? Anything at all?
Give me your biggest Acolyte.
Because this got announced last year, and if they don't have a single sausage of detail to add to it, I'll just be disappointed.
Odd way to phrase it. Hold on, I'm just gonna search hashtag Acolyte. I know I'll get good information.
And then Kathleen Kennedy also came on the scene and kind of shed some light on other things that have been kind of just swimming in the murky waters. She said the Lando Calrissian series is definitely still happening.
Why'd she do that, David?
Who knows? She also said Taika Waititi is still working away on his Star Wars film. We don't know when or where or how, but it's still up there.
Where is he?
In the air. I thought he was dead after that Thor movie.
Yeah. Well, he's just laying low.
He committed career suicide by posting that.
Dang.
So
that's tough.
I feel like some of these projects sound like a guy who people keep asking, "Hey, when are you gonna guys? You guys are engaged." It's like Pam and
Roy.
It's like, "Hey, when are you guys gonna tie the knot?" Like, it's like, well, you know, she's not supposed to be with the guy,
right?
So it's like, I feel like sometimes when they talk about these projects, like, it's almost like they're saying it to keep up appearances, but they don't want to like admit secretly they're looking for a way out of this.
Did they give any information on Skeleton Crew?
Yes, they did.
They had the cast on the stage.
Dang.
Jude Law hanging out with a bunch of kids. Like the dad he is.
He is.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Does he have kids?
I don't know if he has kids.
Kathleen Kennedy said,
I'd be okay if Jude Law was my uncle.
The Taika Waititi movie is he's writing the script himself and he doesn't want others in that process.
Well, hey,
I don't blame him.
Here's what I'm guessing happened with Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm guessing there was a committee that really, like we said, too many Gordons in the Ramsay.
Oh my gosh, maybe.
Oh, I did see. So in that episode of Mandalorian where the pirate who wants to drink in the church,
yeah,
he's the only pirate that got away from the siege on
Cadavro? Who cares? Navarro.
Whatever. Navarro. There's that one episode where Mando kills all the pirates.
Right.
That one pirate got away.
Right.
That is going to be one of the antagonists in the Skeleton Crew. Him. They were setting him up.
Gotcha. So Mando right now is just it's just this hub where all the other shows can shoot off of.
Yep.
That kind of sucks.
In more news, they announced
There's still not a single nothing about what Acolyte is.
it's just
They have a cast,
I'm freaking reading.
and I don't even know what it's about.
That's all I've been doing those last 17 minutes. Acolyte.
All right, well, let's talk about that Lando series for a second.
Let's not.
I want you guys to go back to 2014 when I told you we weren't recording podcasts back then, but I told everyone I knew, no one wants to see a solo Star Wars origin story movie. No one.
Right.
And that movie bombed at the box office. History repeats itself.
Yeah, but
I think that's why they do this celebrations now, is to try to create some hype. And when there is no hype, they're like, yeah, never mind.
we were just joking about that. Well, I mean, I wasn't excited about Andor, and that was freaking good.
Well, maybe there you go.
So, and we said it's that storyline that nobody asked for, and then watch, they're gonna knock it out of the park. Meanwhile, everybody was like, Boba Fett, story of Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, heck yeah, and then not so much. So I don't know.
Maybe it's because Solo seemed like the worst idea for a movie ever. After, like, literally announced that right around the time you kill off the character.
Right.
Seems like a bad idea.
All right. So all I can
It's like
see,
the Black Widow movie.
all I can see about Acolyte is
Bad timing there, guys.
a former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated.
So it's a Jedi acolyte, not a Sith acolyte.
I think they're going to run into a Sith Acolyte.
No, it's about a Sith.
Right. But that's what the description on Wikipedia says.
Yeah, that you can't trust that.
I'm looking at Leslie Headland's profile.
All right, well,
She co-created Russian Doll, the television series. And she attended the premiere of Rise of Skywalker.
and I bet she wrote a glowing review.
She was definitely glowing that night.
So yeah, I would recommend we not pay attention
Just
to that.
like the kid from the Lorax. My name's Dan and my name's Rose. Our son Wesley kind of glows. And that's not good, so we suppose we say let it grow.
Speaking of
What about that song
glowing.
he sings about money?
My name's O'Hare, I'm one of you. I live here in Threadville too.
Okay, go ahead, Dave.
Let it die,
Man.
let it die.
Austin doesn't know anything about Star Wars Celebration and what came out, but he can whip out songs from the Lorax.
It's a great movie, totally underrated. The water guy, the guy who works for O'Hare, he's the most talented guy in the whole movie. Underrated. Find him, Sean, and put his face over
I've
mine.
never seen the Lorax.
He's got a mustache, and he sings like the opening number. He's
I've
great.
never seen
Dude, the Lorax is great. The Lorax is really good. The music is phenomenal.
Ewan McGregor has been very vocal about wanting a season 2 of Obi-Wan. Kathleen Kennedy said that
Shut up.
this is not in active development, but never say never. There's always a possibility. The show was so well received that anything can happen.
Did you see the actress who played young Leia kind of like giggling on stage about the whole her hiding in Obi-Wan's coat? She was just like, it's so ridiculous. Who would believe this? This is so silly. It's like, guys, Star Wars is for kids. She loved it. We don't have to overanalyze it.
Who's she?
The actress who played Leia.
Kathleen
The
Kennedy,
girl who is Usain Bolt level speed to get away from people.
Kathleen Kennedy also said Rogue Squadron movie could still happen. She said Rian Johnson's trilogy could still happen.
Oh, you Kathleen.
Coward.
So-
Could, not will.
Yeah.
There is no try. Right, Sean?
Just fire
Maybe
her.
not.
Imagine your doctor comes into the office and gives you a bunch of coulds instead of wills.
Dang.
And that's all I got for Star Wars.
Well, that's a lot of content. That's a lot to digest, and I'm excited. On a scale of 1 to Star Wars, what do we think these next 2 years will bring us?
Can we talk about Jedi Survivor still?
I literally passed that on purpose.
There was a rumor that was not true.
I'm such an incorrigible negative Nelly about that game.
They were saying Coruscant was going to be open world.
It is.
No, they never said that. They said Coruscant you can explore Coruscant. As soon as I read Coruscant will be open world, do you know how freaking big Coruscant is?
There's like hundreds of levels.
It's infinite.
They'll just do it like Minecraft, where it like just generates the world infinitely.
I guess
it's just a bunch of buildings.
When I read that made no sense. Like, you can't explore the whole planet. There's no way.
You gotta climb to the top of all the skyscrapers to unlock the parts of the map.
Oh yeah,
and collect all the feathers.
Dive down and land in the hay barrel.
Yeah,
classic. How many trillion people live on Coruscant? They said it in the Mandalorian episode, right?
They just throw numbers out there without thinking about it, though.
It was like 5
Remember when
trillion?
Han said his Millennium Falcon made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs?
Yeah.
Because George Lucas forgot that a parsec is a distance, not a unit of time.
Right.
And so they had to like desperately try to find a way to explain that, even though you don't have to.
Yeah.
You let it go.
Right.
I feel like there's a lot of that in Star Wars. You can just let it go. You don't have to try really hard to like tie that bow.
I guess.
Tie that pole.
So Sean, you're excited for the release of that the website video game, right?
What? Jedi Survivor?
Yeah.
I hate that game.
Yeah, you do.
I think I hate that game because I hate the protagonist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I know I'm a bad person.
Yeah, for sure.
I know that no one deserves the hate I have.
Do you think he's gonna show up? Cal Kestis?
I don't know.
What's the actor's name who plays him?
Monahue.
Look it up. What's his name? Cameron Monaghan?
Yeah.
Monaghan.
He's actually really cool at all these celebration things. He's a man of the people.
I just want to give a message to Cameron Monaghan. You're doing your best. You're a good boy. And I'm sorry I don't like your game. It's not your fault. It's mine.
Wow. Extreme ownership.
Dang, that was mature.
I did not think you were going to go that route.
I'll probably play it.
I actually, we've said it before, I never played the first one. I just watched all the cutscenes on YouTube.
Dude, it's a hard game, actually.
I never would know.
I don't like the lightsaber combat.
Yeah, I guess what's the weird thing about that game is it kind of is like counterproductive. Like, you want to feel powerful with a lightsaber, but it has the like you're hitting him with a bat kind of a thing.
Like an FX lightsaber, Sean?
Yeah, like in the Kenobi show where you're not like cutting them to pieces. You like have to whack them 4 or 5 times.
I think I remember though in the new game there will be dismemberment.
There is dismemberment in the maybe there's not. I don't know because they wanted to keep it T for teen. But either way, the point is, even if there was dismemberment, it's always just like really annoying and weird when you strike a guy with a lightsaber and he doesn't die immediately.
Yeah.
And the best Star Wars games, they did.
Right.
Like Jedi Knight and Jedi Academy.
I gotta play those.
All you had to do was run up on the guy and dice him, and he was done.
So with this Star Wars celebration, Sean, what are the things that you want to watch, read, play?
I don't read.
That's right. Never learned.
I read what I write.
Wow.
In the Bible.
That's right.
A lot of audiobooks, though.
So what would you like to listen to or read?
I am interested in a new Jedi Order movie.
Okay.
Because I want there to be a future.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep going into the past.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
Because the potential of the future is limitless.
Right.
Whereas all of these intermixed pieces of film are locked in between two things.
Right.
Like an Ahsoka show can only end in pretty
Right.
tightly confined ways.
Right.
Whereas like a New Jedi Order, hey, what if I told you years from now we could be watching a Star Wars movie or even multiple Star Wars movies about the Yuzhin Vong War
Whoa.
from the books? I'd be happy.
You would be. Let's do
And
it.
it's possible.
What are the things that you want to catch up on, David, in order to get ready for what's coming?
Also, Daisy Ridley's
Catch up on?
Or
Like rewatch?
rewatch, play, listen
Well,
to?
me and Emily
read?
restarted Clone Wars last night.
Heck yeah.
So
Dude,
we're watching that
Emily,
again.
shout out to her. You've really putting her through the ringer, man.
Dude, and she actually knows her stuff. I make sure it's not like a let's watch this and I make her sit there and watch. It's
Right.
understand it. I need to know you know what's happening. She walks out of the room, I pause it. Like there's no you won't miss anything.
What was that clone's number? What was his call sign?
Right.
Do you
And
think?
we watched like 3 episodes of season 1 of Clone Wars and she's like, I like this. And I went, why? The animation is awful.
Season 1 is
and
so
these
bad.
stories are awful. I was like, but it gets way better. It's like,
It leads off with the Yoda one, right?
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that one's decent.
that's pretty good.
Dave,
I really want to read the Thrawn books.
They're good. I read like, I think there's 3. I think I read 2 of them.
Yeah.
But the first one's really good.
And I want to play. I want to play KOTOR. Never played it. I want to play.
Towar's very good.
I want to play
1 and 2. 2 is a little bit harder to get into. 1 is just a masterpiece.
I want to actually play the Cal Kestis game, which is escaping me, and that's why I called it that.
Dave, do you think? I want you to be prepared for this. Do you think as soon as Emily puts a ring on it, she can stop pretending she likes this stuff?
Uh-oh.
At first I thought that, and then we were talking to one of her family members, and they were asking, oh, you guys are watching Bad Batch? And I said, yeah. And before I could tell them all about Bad Batch, Emily stopped me, and she told them all about Bad Batch. And she knew everything about it. She dissected how Palpatine's behind it all, and he's manipulating everything, and I was very impressed.
Speaking of Bad Batch, shout out to the dudes who cosplayed as Bad Batch at Star Wars Celebration. Not to the whole group though. Specifically, the guy that was Crosshair, he friggin' nailed it. He looked legit. The guy who was Tech looked really good too. The other guys, you did your best. Crosshair and Tech were spot on.
There you go.
That's right, Chuck.
Hello there.
Question for the peeps. What is a sound effect we could add to our intro song
That's a great question.
now that we are 35 episodes in?
Halfway there.
I'm thinking maybe a wahoo.
Yeah. Should we start adding some of our sound bites?
But would it be the Chris Pratt version or the Charles Martinet version?
It's got to be Chris Pratt to really connect with our audience.
My favorite parts of the movie, and by favorite I mean the part I cringed every time, was when there'd be the movie like overused slow-mo so many times. Like Mario would like be leaping or flying over something, and he'd be Mamma Mia.
They do it like 4 times
Like
in the
4
movie.
times. It was like,
Yeah.
I think we should add me saying massive diarrhea in the intro.
I'd rather not.
That's probably a bad decision.
That's nothing to joke about, Austin. People die of dysentery.
Dang.
What are some other sound effects we could add to our intro? Just off the top.
I'm at a loss. I don't know. Something from Halo, maybe.
Oh.
Something.
That was Little Mermaid, actually. That wasn't Halo. What I just did. Oh. That's Halo. I did the Little Mermaid song.
It would be like the your shields are down sound effect from Halo.
There you go. That's good.
Kill-tacular.
Kill.
Could do that.
Oh yeah, Sean-tacular. Gosh.
Haku Machete!
We should add a "This is the way" for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Ah, yes.
I like that. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
And what else?
Hey, don't run from the Lord.
We could add the entirety of this. and then we'll leave it at that, so I don't get in trouble.
What was I gonna say? Gosh.
Well, we'll let the viewership decide.
Yeah, there's got to be some good sound bites that we can add that you guys think will be worthwhile. What are you most excited about from Star Wars Celebration? Are you happy that Rey's back? Are you happy that we are getting literally an origin story for the Force and for Jedi?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest one for me.
I think that's the coolest thing that's come out. Heck yeah.
Because it's before everything we know, but it's like an origin of the Force.
Yeah.
We get to know where, like, that's what we've wanted. I don't know.
That's what George was never going to give us.
Dawn of the Jedi.
Actually, he was, wasn't he?
Would you guys be interested in a movie that's like a prequel to God?
Oh my gosh.
Probably not, right?
That's actually, so that's what he said when he talked about his Dawn of the Jedi movie. It's like the very first Jedi ever. It's going to be like a biblical movie.
Wow.
Dang, it's like the Moses of the
Oh, yeah.
Force.
Didn't he say it's like a Ten Commandments type? I saw somebody said something about that in one of these projects. I saw a lot of tweets. It's hard to keep track of them all. Are you guys, let's say, taps off to Rosario Dawson, committing those 14 hours a week to learn how to be Ahsoka? and I think that wraps it up. Anything else, Sean?
Go play the real Super Mario Brothers
Yeah.
this week. And then Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Dude, I got to.
They go right, they really fit together perfectly.
Can I download it on PlayStation 4?
No.
Well, then I will not play it. Is it on PS5?
Yeah.
Dang. All right. And that'll wrap up episode 35. This is 99 Nerds. I am Sean. That is Austin. He is David. And we are out. Peace.